Welcome to another episode of Brand Lincoln, where we take a look around the Lincoln, Nebraska area and introduce you to business owners and influential people in the city. We are brought to you by Perch Merch. Perch Merch is a locally owned, custom screen printing and embroidery apparel shop that also specializes in vehicle wraps, decals, and all sorts of promotional products. If your business, school, or team is looking to expand your brand, head to perch-merch.com or call us at 402-217-5212.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Brand Lincoln. I am your host, Chris Beecham. I am joined by my co-host, Henry Schmidt.
Hey, Chris.
And our producer, graphic designer, DJ, Joe Cruz.
Hello, Chris. Good morning.
Morning. And before we introduce our guest, just want to remind everybody to please like, follow, subscribe on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. You can also find us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Brand Lincoln Podcast. So today in the Perch Merch studio, we have Keenan Serrano, who is part of Keenan Eats.
Correct.
Are there other names for that? Or
Yeah, Keenan Eats. That's the food.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
So he is a... How would you describe? Go ahead. You know what?
The podcast is about
Well,
Keenan.
hello everybody.
We're going to let you.
Hello everybody.
Explain you.
My name is Keenan. I am actually a musician, a music artist, thought provoker, motivational speaker, and food enthusiast. I think that's like maybe the best way to put it.
Thought provoker. That's a good thing to put on a business card.
That.
Yeah. I like to spark conversations.
Perfect for today.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah.
So how did this all start then? Okay, what started first? So are you from Lincoln?
So originally I'm from North Platte, Nebraska.
Okay.
So
you fit in perfectly
Super
there.
close.
West Side. Yeah, exactly.
I
Very
love
much
North
so
Platte.
not. I was one black guy. Had to learn to be
And
strong.
now you're gone. So.
Yeah, exactly. My brother had a baby in 2011. That was my freshman year of high school. I'm 27. So we moved to Lincoln, and so I went to Southeast High School, where I didn't have any friends because I had just moved. We moved like a month into the school year too, which was like,
That's horrible.
really, Mom?
Yeah, I can't even
like
imagine.
really?
Like, that was
we
your-
couldn't
that
just
was-
like be all new freshmen. Like
That was
no.
your window. It
Exactly.
did close.
Yeah,
And
instead
it's like,
you stick out like a sore
yeah,
thumb
I'm
that
like
shows up a
the
month
new,
later.
like we're all new, we're all freshmen, but I'm the new freshman.
Yep.
It's kind of a different ID picture and whatnot. Yeah, I was too late to play football because I grew up playing sports and stuff like that. I played football, basketball, soccer, baseball, track. I did everything, but I started getting injured and stuff. So I found an interest in music, and then when I moved to Lincoln, I had a lot of time on my hands. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to be a rapper. And so I decided to start taking music seriously in 2011 and making music and getting better, and worked on music all throughout high school. Started learning to produce after I got a laptop and recording and whatnot. I released a mixtape my senior year of high school. I burnt all of the CDs by myself and ended up selling 200 copies in a week.
Did you pass them out at school?
Yeah, so I sold them for $5 at lunch. Don't tell the administrators. They were trying to stop me. They're like, you can't sell these. I'm like, no, I'm just distributing them here.
Yeah, and if it was now, it'd be a lot easier. 'Cause it's all,
Exactly.
streaming.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So, well, yes and no. It would have been easier to take payment. That's what I'll say. But as far as getting $5 for your music, it's actually harder now. You have to get so many more streams. It's unrealistic. Whereas back in the day, if you wanted to listen to one song on a CD, you buy the CD. So it's they make their money. It's easier to make those sales. But
I totally understand that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah,
Just think
it's-
of the convenience now. But I used to have to buy a cassette tape and fast
Exactly.
forward to the song that I wanted.
I think they said to make, I'm not even going to quote it. Never mind. But it's a lot more stream. You got to stream it a unreal amount of times before you're making the same amount of money you would have made just by somebody buying the product. But yeah, the first week, I sold 200 copies just selling them at the lunchroom. I was like, wow, $1,000 in a week at high school is kind of crazy. So that was cool. I ended up being like the first person to perform at post prom at Southeast.
Oh, no kidding.
And yeah, it was I got like 100 kids sign a petition before I even went to the administration, just so I could make sure I had the support.
Everybody says it's fine. Yeah,
you know, exactly. And so I ended up doing that. That was cool. And like, yeah, my senior year, I was just trying to get through. I was always pretty good at school, but I don't know. I was always like off in another world trying to focus on music and stuff. And then graduation comes and I auditioned and ended up being a commencement speaker for the graduation. And I was one of 4 that were chosen to speak for graduation. And I was the one kid who was not in speech. All the other 3 were like in speech all 4 years. And I was just like the rapper.
did they expect you to rap it?
I don't know. I don't know. It was
everybody's
like,
let down by
exactly.
You just
it was great. It was the only speech I think I've ever written, and it was like
people liked it.
It felt like a movie. It really did. Like, and not only was I a commencement speaker, but I was the final speaker. They made me the final speaker. I found that out like 2 days before, and I was like,
"You got to close."
Yeah. It was pretty crazy. Basically, it was just like the idea of like, you know, I think. The quotable line I said was, life is like a puzzle, and if you don't take the risk to see which pieces fit together, you'll never complete the bigger picture.
That's deep right there.
Very
thought-provoking.
I wrote that in Da Vinci.
That's where that, thought-provoker thing.
I was in Da Vinci's at 44th and O writing that. Inspirational.
I don't even like Leonardo
you go if you need it.
No.
The Renaissance.
Yeah,
man.
but so that happened. Then I went to UNL for like a semester, and I ended up dropping out because I was just like in school because I thought that's what I needed to do. But I was like, I know what I want to do. Like, I don't actually need to go to school, I don't think. So I like ended up just like going into music, making music, and just going harder with music, I guess. And over the years, had some headlining shows over at the Bourbon, Vega, different places around here. Opened up for some pretty big acts. I know like Project Pat. Who else? I think the biggest artist I probably opened up for was either Ritz or Jaquise. But either way, I opened up for some pretty solid names and kind of just kept it going until 2019. I moved to New York because I was just like tired of doing the same stuff over and over. And so I moved to New York City. My dad lives in New York City. I think that's a part I kind of left out. Ever since I was 10, he lived in New York City. So I grew up visiting there before I even came to Lincoln. So New York City. A little bit
different.
yeah.
A little bit different than North Platte.
North Platte to New York, you know.
Polar opposites.
It's basically the same place, honestly. But, yeah, in 2019, I decided to move there. With like $200. I was wild for that. And I didn't want to tell my dad I was moving either because he was going to be like, you're irresponsible. And I was. But it's okay. So I had a friend who was staying out there, and they had 30 days in an Airbnb. And they're like, you could come stay with me if you want. And then worst case scenario, just go back. I was like, okay, cool.
So you got a month.
So I had a month, but the plot twist was I actually had 20 days because by the time I got a ticket and figured it out, there was 20 days left. So I ended up I had money saved up, and then like just life expenses came up and stuff, and I had $200 left. And so I get out there with a suitcase and $200, $100 in my bank account, $100 in my pocket, and I'm just like, okay, we're gonna try to figure this out. And I ended up getting a job after applying at like 250 places, literally, like ZipRecruiter, Indeed, going into places. Like, I got a job 12 days in, and like, I was just so grateful. I was just like, yes, I owe you my life. So I worked there.
What were you doing?
It was a it was a beer and cheese shop.
Okay.
Oh, I like
that served ramen because they wanted to compete with the people in the area.
The combination,
it was
but
really
only like New York City.
It was very odd, and it was
some ramen, some cheese, and a beer.
For real.
And I think that was the college diet anyway.
Literally. And before I had moved, I worked at Old Chicago, so I was like versing beer. I was like, okay, beer, yeah, like we should be good. I get out there, and like what I didn't realize is from region to region, beer is completely different. Like, I knew no beers out there. I knew they had Boulevard. That's it. That's the only beer that I recognized. Otherwise, it wasn't Blue Moon. It was Allagash White. You know, like they have like different
weird.
kinds of, you know, there's like beers you've never heard of, but they're like similar to beers you know. And regionally, it's all different. So I had to like relearn everything while I'm out there.
So this is like with less than 2 weeks left in the Airbnb, you start working at this location.
And I end up making just enough so that my friend and I can go half on the next Airbnb.
Your dad knew you were out there by then?
Yeah, I was trying to keep it under wraps. I was trying to keep it under wraps.
Knock on his door. You're like, hey, what's up,
customer at the beer and cheese.
I was trying to keep it under wraps, but then I was like, you know, I feel like that's a safety concern. I should probably let him know I'm out here just in case, like, I do need something, like, literally day 3.
Like
I was
money?
like, even though I was like, I definitely was too stubborn to even ask for anything. I was just like, day 3, though, I was like, yeah, I'm out here. I didn't say I moved. He's like, for how long? I'm like, I'm out here. I didn't really specify. I didn't even know how long I was going to be out there. I had no idea. But, yeah, we end up doing the Airbnb thing for like months. So, but I ended up moving in with my friend Miles, who I met on the train years before. Like, he was asking for directions, and we were going to the same spot, and I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, you want to be friends?
Yeah, we're just like talking. He's like, I just moved back. Like, I was living in LA, this or that, and I was like, cool. And then we just start talking, and this train comes, and I'm like, okay, yeah. And then we just both get on the train. We're still talking. And then we realize this is not the right train. We went to the wrong spot in Brooklyn. We both missed our parties, but that's how we became friends. I don't know. New York was intense. I'm not gonna lie. It was super intense.
Were you doing anything rapping wise or anything when you were there?
I was the closest thing. I had a friend named Summer, and she had her house, she had like a recording setup, and I had just met her like 2 weeks into being there, and she actually was like 2 blocks away from my first Airbnb, and my friends told me about her, and so I was like, oh yeah, I'll go meet her, whatever. We clicked on the first day, ended up becoming best friends, and like that was the extent of like what I was doing musically out there. Like I was just stressed and trying to like make it happen. And
so did you move out there originally just for like a change of scene?
Yeah.
Or?
Very much so, because I was like making pretty solid money here. I was like, but I just felt like I needed more life experience, and like, I guess that takes kind of a lot to like do. But
well, yeah, moving to New York City with $200.
I'm very much so like if things are like feeling very repetitive, and I feel like I'm not really growing, then what are we doing? Like, I feel like it's very important to put yourself in different environments and put yourself in different situations that you're not used to, because that's like how we grow, you know. Like even if you're trying to like lift a new PR, it's because like your muscles are growing because you're lifting something you never lifted before, you know.
Yeah, Joe knows.
Yeah,
Joe knows all about that. My friend Summer had mentioned she in December, well, in November, she decided to quit her job, and I was like, dude, you're crazy. What are you actually have rent to pay. She decided to go music full time. I was like, oh, wow, that's crazy. So she said she was going to drop this project called Summer's Over. I'm like, all right, awesome. Like, let me know more, you know? And then like 3 weeks later, she drops the project, and she gets on this interview with On the Radar, which is like a really big platform now. Like Drake was on there this past year. Like they're a really big deal now, but that was the baby stages. And it was like at iHeartRadio, and I was like, how did she land this? This is nuts. But then like she like went out and celebrated her album release the next day, and she fell on the subway tracks and died.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So she was 23, and that was like super traumatic, and it kind of woke me back up to like what mattered and what I would like. I had to like reassess like, what am I doing actually? Because I'm like working 2 jobs. I'm living in New York. This is cool, but I'm not actually doing the thing I wanted to do, which was making music. Like I would go over to her house and like listen to music and make music with her, but Not really. Like, I would more so just listen to music or just chill. And, yeah, that kind of, like, as soon as that happened, like, I instantly started writing, like, every day, like, making way more music. But I was, like, in this, like, depressive time. Then my birthday was in January. My homie Miles I had moved in with, he ended up getting stabbed. Like, it was so random. It was so random. It was so it was the most intense, like,
what you think New York City would entail is exactly what you went through.
And what's so nuts is, like, it's not even like that. It just happened to be that's how the cards were, like, the two friends I had. But he got stabbed. He ended up being fine. He actually just messaged me like 20 minutes ago. That's crazy.
We're glad you're okay, Miles.
Yeah, shout out to Miles. But yeah, he was trying to help an old lady, and he was just wrong place, wrong time. I don't even know. But
was he stabbed by an old lady?
No, he was stabbed by like these crazies.
Give Miles some credit,
yeah,
Joe.
for real. He was the hero there.
I'm just trying to help you, man.
But yeah, that happened. Then like I got to walk in New York Fashion Week in March. So it was like highs and lows, like the craziest, like...
You say walk like as a model?
Yes.
Oh, no kidding?
Yes.
So you didn't say model. Okay. Well,
yeah, model, my fault.
For
Yeah,
your album, for your cover.
I haven't
here.
stepped into that character yet.
Right above Thought Provoker.
I haven't unlocked it. But yeah, like, then March is coming around. Mid-February, I got strep throat. I never had strep throat before, and I was just happy because I figured out I had PTO at my job. So I was like, what? A day off, and I'm getting paid? This is crazy. I don't even feel that bad, honestly. Like, it's whatever. But, yeah, so that happens 2 weeks later. I'm having, like, chest pains, and I'm like, I have, like, a bunch of little siblings in New York. And so I thought maybe I was, like, you know, playing with one of the kids and picked one of them up too fast or something, just hurt my chest. I don't know. It was just sore. But then, like, 3 days goes by, and it's, like, persistent. I'm like, okay, what is this? Like, I'm trying to drink water, do whatever, stretch. I'm working at an office job at this point. I'm, like, construction office job. It's so funny. But I figure out that it's my heart that's hurting. And so I end up going to the hospital. It was so chill. I catch an Uber to go to the hospital, and I should have done some research because I went to literally the worst hospital, like Mount Sinai. Like, it was like no AC, like it was. I don't know why I didn't just look at the reviews. I
didn't know hospitals had reviews like that.
You know,
like a Yelp review?
They do. On Google, they got reviews, and
2 stars.
Yeah, who knew? But
no
yeah,
AC.
Exactly.
The food
AC
was
like,
bad.
Literally, they served me a bun one day, and I was like,
lady, I'm trying to get my heart
Where's
up.
the sandwich?
Hang on, I'm on the edge of my seat.
So
what was wrong with you?
So I go in, they hook me up to the EKG, and like everything seems chill. I'm still got my AirPod in my ear, or I think it wasn't even AirPod, it was a headphone. And like she's like, "Hey, can you lay down for me?" I'm like, "For sure." And like she like puts up the side of the bed and like rushes me back to the ICU. I'm like, am I okay? Like, are we good?
And you're still listening to like Drake's
I'm
album.
like, wait. It was literally like Lil Uzi Vert dropped that day. It was funny, but like, there's like 8 doctors around me, and they're just like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Am I okay? Like, my chest hurts, but I don't know."
Doctor.
Like, why are you asking me this? Yeah. And like, so they admitted me. I was in there for 7 days, and they came to find out that I had myocarditis, which had attacked my heart, and I got heart damage from it. And it was just like a virus, and I was like, was it COVID? But they never really specified. They didn't say. They said no. But I don't know, because the second day I was in there is when they shut down all the universities. So at the beginning of COVID, when they shut down all the universities across the country, I'm literally in the cardiac unit in Mount Sinai in New York City, and like not sure if I'm okay, because the doctors don't even know if I'm okay.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like, it was just like a nuts time. But I will say, like, the news was making it seem way crazier. Like, they didn't even have a COVID unit set up yet, and they were like waiting for this thing to happen. Meanwhile, the news is saying it's happening very rapidly, and it's like, but I'm in the hospital, so I'm like experiencing it. and I'm just like hoping I get out, whatever. And yeah, I ended up being fine, but I had to like take 3 to 6 months to do no moderate to strenuous exercise. So living in New York is already strenuous.
Oh, yeah.
So at that point, they had banned flights, and I was like, oh. And then they unbanned flights, and I was like, okay, we're leaving. We're out of here. I'm going to go back to Nebraska so I can go heal because it's a slower pace. And plus, I had lost both my jobs because they had shut down. Actually, one of them I still had, but I couldn't go back for 4 weeks because I was a high-risk person at that time. So then I had to come back here. And I just basically ate a bunch of clean food and played Fortnite for like 3 to 6 months. And it ended up being 6 months that I couldn't do anything. So I gained like 25 pounds and like it was just a crazy time.
So it wasn't clean food.
It was clean food. It's just I couldn't work it off. I couldn't work it off. I was just sitting there. So and then I just had to like reflect and remember like what I just made it through and all the stuff that I just experienced. And so I was still creating throughout this time. Like I came back and I'm like creating music, but I'm like living at a friend's house and it was just like unconventional. And then I decided I had some money saved up eventually. And I was like, you know, I want a space where I can like work on music and stuff and like be able to invite people over and like work on music. So I started looking for like suites and stuff, and I ended up finding a spot on 48th and Cornhusker. So that's where Simply Dope Studios was born. So I run a recording studio too. I don't think I mentioned that.
You did not mention that.
My fault. I do a lot of stuff, but yeah, we started the studio is just a place for myself and my friend Leah to make music and just express ourselves. And then August 2021, I was like, you know what, let's make it an actual business. We dressed up the place. I put in some flooring, made it look really nice, and opened up Simply Dope Studios. And it was a way to connect the artists of the Midwest in something we called the Midwest Renaissance, because it's important to get all of the best artists in the same room, and they should know about each other. And when it comes to a scene, people need to know each other, and they need to be connected. Otherwise, it's not really a scene. It's just people doing stuff independently, you know? So I've been very big on wanting to connect artists to each other and to their potential, because I see a lot of potential in a lot of people. But just like helping people help express themselves and be their authentic selves. And that's kind of what Simply Dope is all about. That's my brand. So
can people come to you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I have clients. They come in, like I do recording, audio recording, mixing and mastering, stuff like that. So pretty much audio production. I also do like project management. So if they're trying to drop a project, whatever the creative project is, honestly, even if it's not music, like I'm very good at like breaking down a bigger idea into steps to actually make it achievable. I find a lot of joy in that. But yeah, I like being innovative and like bringing new ideas to the table and just like trying stuff I never tried. Yeah.
So when's your latest album out?
I dropped The Story of Keenan, Struggles of a Divine Masculine this last October. It was the end of October. Yeah. It was the end of October.
We'll have to put some on
on
our Instagram and
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. It was and that was like kind of a compilation of like, it started as an album called Sad Songs, because
like
I went through a lot of stuff.
Set for rapping,
you know? yeah. And then like it kind of developed into just like talking about just struggles of like trying to be great and do things, you know, great things, whether it be in relationships, you're, you know, struggling with self-worth issues, doubt, and working through that, and you know, getting to a good place, and then like somebody dies or something happens that's unexpected, and at the end of the day, you just got to be able to adapt. So, yeah.
Okay.
So that's what you do Monday through Friday, Monday through Sunday.
Monday through Friday, Monday through Sunday is running the studio, taking sessions. I throw events as well. I love throwing like interactive events. So I just started a flea market about a month and a half ago called Simply Dope World Market.
That was my next guess. I was like, what else can Keenan possibly do? I was like, yeah, he's going to start a flea market.
Yeah. So
music production. Flea market.
Yeah, right. Well,
Yes.
my thing is, like, I have my merch and stuff, and I make all my stuff in-house. So, like, I press all my shirts and
If you need
hoodies
help with
I mean,
that,
I
know a place.
But shout out to Perch Merch, though.
Yeah.
Who knows? You know?
Man.
He's
But
going to
yeah,
start his own
you know,
screen printing stuff.
I just wanted to, be able to create stuff and just learn the process so I know how everything works. So, I know what I'm even wanting, because half of knowing what you want is knowing how things work, So, yeah, I got a heat press and, like, started doing stuff. I had a bunch of merch. I actually had a show in May at the Bourbon. I had a headlining show, and that was my first headlining show in like 5 years. And like I had my homie Danny Michael on it. We did that, and that was interesting. I put up a lot of promotion for that. I posted a lot of flyers, a lot of posters around Lincoln, like over 600. Just myself and my mom. Yeah, shout out to my mom. Shout out to my mom, because like none of this would be possible without her. Actually. So, but we did that. Ended up having a really good turnout. And I had a bunch of merch left over, and I was just like, where can I like sell this? Like, where could I sell this? Because clearly stuff sells best in person. So I was like looking into like being a part of like farmers markets or something like that. And it's like some of them, they don't really like take you if you just sell your brand.
They want you to sell honey.
You're right.
Or
exactly.
Flowers.
Exactly.
Not your T-shirt.
And I'm like, dude, I already wear like 15 hats. Like, I'll start making honey.
But you could have added ramen and cheese.
Exactly. Ramen.
It was legit.
It would have been perfect, honestly. Like, Keenan's ramen.
But you
yeah.
couldn't find someone that was going to let you bring your merch into the market.
Yeah, or either that or reading online. Now I know differently, but reading online, it looked like I would have had to have my stuff together in March to participate in the summer stuff. So, but I guess
that's not really your style.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm last minute. But like, yeah, so I was just looking for a place that felt like I could belong, in a place that felt even more attuned to myself culturally, going out to New York and just like being a black entrepreneur in Lincoln. Like, I'm like, I kind of want to listen to like the music I want to listen to at my market too, and like whatever. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just like set up shop out in the parking lot.
So this is at 48th and Cornhusker.
Yeah,
then?
The Johnson Hardware Building, and it's like private parking lot. So I'm like, all right, cool. There's a lot of things that you can work with that. So I was like, all right, I'll just like set up shop out front and invite some homies over and see if they want to set up shop with them.
How many other vendors did you get to?
The first time it was like 3 or 4 of us, like 4 of us, and I had a speaker and we were just playing music, and it ended up being very good for me though. I sold a lot of stuff. It was like crazy. Oh, wow. We only had like 20 people come, but there was a bunch of random people I didn't even know who like came through, and I was like, this is cool.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
And so we did it again 2 weeks later, I believe. Yeah, 2 weeks later, we did it again, and we had like 5 vendors. And it was like, okay, cool. And we incrementally had maybe 20 more people show up. And it was really cool. And then I was like, this is fun. This is really fun. I like this event. It's very different. It feels like it can really scale, because the other events I do is like open mic or ciphers, just like different events, but they're kind of like inside and there's a capacity to it. Whereas this is outside and it could go anywhere. So then we had one this last month. I believe there were like 10 vendors, and we had 2 food trucks and a DJ. So it was like, oh, okay, this is really nice. And then like we had probably like 100 people come by, and it was like, okay, this is really fun.
Really,
this is cool.
It's legit.
Yeah, it's legit. I'm like, this is cool. There's clearly like other people who have brands or have like unique things and they feel like they needed the space that we were creating. So it was super cool. So yeah, the flea market that happened. I do so many other things, gosh. But okay,
we can't get to all of them today.
Rewind to February. I was eating at Blessing Thai. Shout out to Blessing Thai restaurant on 27th and Superior. You'd go there all the time because the studio's over there. So that's one of the places I would go. And I was eating there, and I was like, I really love their food so much. And it's so, like, every time I tell somebody about them, they don't know anything about it. Like, what do you mean you don't know about these people? This is great. And I was like, I really want to get the word out about this restaurant. And I've always had, like, a love for, like, helping small businesses and, like, restaurants specifically. My uncle used to run a restaurant in Bellevue called Quick Bites Soul Food. And while he was alive, I helped him run the food truck. So I was like, how can I help without being involved in the internal stuff? And I was like, well, maybe I can just, like, take pictures of the food and just, like, post it to my stuff and just talk about it. And so that's how Keenan Eats started. And I was like, cool. And I posted it, and there was, like, a lot of support. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then I just, over the next few months, like, every time I would go out to eat, I would make sure I didn't go to the same places. I would always go to somewhere different, and I would always take pictures and, like, do a review. And I kept doing that. It grew a little bit. I had started the page, and then in May I had my show, and then Chubb at Soulful Cucina, we've been tied in, and I was just like, he said he owed me some food, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna come through. I think I'm gonna do a video, because I was just like, I just want to do a video. People have been telling me, like, you should start a podcast. That's what they told me. But I'm like, dude, listen, I like to talk. I don't like to do the other. Like, that's a lot. That's kind of a lot of work. I'm like, but you want me to do a podcast because you want to listen to me talk about stuff. I'm like, okay, how can I infuse that in with, like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do videos and I'm going to do voiceovers. And then, so I did. And then, like, posted to Facebook. And, like, first day, I got, like, 12,000 plays. I was like, oh, this is nuts. This is actually crazy. And, like, TikTok, same thing. It was, like, that video was going crazy. And I was like, okay, I could see this being even more helpful for businesses and, like, getting their name out there and just exposing more people to different food, because I'm very big on, once again, do different things. So I want to connect, like, people to new places to eat, and I want to connect the restaurants with new people. So I feel like it's a very big service that's needed even beyond restaurants, honestly. I feel like in a community like Lincoln, a lot of things go under the radar just because people don't know about them. So it's important to, like, connect.
Yeah, that's what this podcast is all about. You're doing it for the food. We're trying to do it for the other small businesses.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Shout out to y'all.
We totally get it.
Yeah.
Shining a light on things.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Absolutely. So, yeah. That's how Keenan Eats started, and now it's getting to a point where, like, people are hitting me up to, like, come and eat their food.
Yeah, I was going to ask, so I assume when you started doing it, you're just going in saying, hey, do you mind if I get some video and post this?
Actually, I didn't even tell anybody anything.
Yeah?
You just order your food and eat
my
it?
food and got videos, and they had no idea. I'm just random. And then now it's got to a point where it's like, okay, I've been going back to places that I originally reviewed with pictures and telling them that I'm going to come back and do a video. And, like, so then, I come back and do a video for them, and they are expecting me, I guess.
Yeah, because nobody's going to say no to that, right?
Right. Nobody's going to say no to that. No.
I don't know if you've had anybody who's like, please, sir, whatever, stop recording.
Right. Unless I'm, like, recording, like, customers' faces. But usually I try to just, like, be very...
Just be you or just be the
like,
food?
Big. Yeah, me or the food, or, like, if it's the place, it's, like... It's moving at such a rate you can't even see the person that's in it. You're just focused on, like, the atmosphere or environment.
So now when you go, are they comping your meals? Or?
They are.
Yeah,
they are.
Meals. Nice.
They are indeed comping my meals.
Keenan's eating good.
I have been eating pretty good. I can't lie, for the last couple of weeks for sure. But it's it's an interesting space right now. In reality, like what I'm doing is basically like I can't really call it small. I'm doing a social media POV customer experience commercial. So that's what it is versus like just a food review.
That's what makes it great though. Like I've watched a ton of your videos. I knew of you before,
That's
got
awesome.
introduced to you. Because you're doing the whole video. We're going to start doing that for like our podcast guests, where they get to see the actual environment.
Right.
They get to see you walking in.
Yeah.
People don't want to just see somebody eating at a table. They want
Right.
to see the environment. They want to see, what
We want to see the recording
What's the
studio.
experience going to be like?
We want to see the flea market.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the truth. That's
Like
the
you
truth.
can talk about it, but seeing it in a 1 minute, 90-second video
1,000%.
makes a huge difference.
And all my videos are a minute long. So I try to keep it really short. And
But you
sweet.
can pack a lot of information. Like Joe and I were watching your wing review.
Oh, yeah.
And you talk about a dozen different wings in a minute, basically, or a minute and a half.
Yeah, exactly. And like, there was a lot. That was a hard video to edit because there was a lot to pack in. I'm like, geez, how can I? And then usually I'll edit the video and then do the voiceover. And like sometimes I'm just like, like just trying to like catch up with what's happening in the video. I'm like, we need to extend that a little bit so I can talk about that for a second. But it's a lot of fun. It's also a very valuable service. I did 3 restaurants, I believe, 3 or 4 restaurants like last week, and it was like, oh, this is work. This is like it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, actually.
The editing and all that. That's where people think, no, we're not just taking a quick video. And, no.
And see, when I opened up the studio, that's when I had got my camera, and I started like video editing as well. I just pretty much anything I ever think about doing, I'm just like, let's figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
I'll just figure out how to do it. Like,
so far, so good.
Yeah, like I might not be the best at it, but at least I know how to do it, and we could always improve and get better. So the video editing, it felt really good to get back into like editing video. Well, shout out to CapCut. That's what I'll say.
Yep.
Shout out to CapCut.
That's what I've used for our reels on this. I can just sit on my phone and do it for 90% of it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And like my computer is not like that. I haven't been editing videos because my computer's just not, it's a little too old and it's just not trying to work with 4K footage at all.
You're preaching to Chris right now, preaching to the choir.
It makes me want to cry.
Because I'm doing that whole,
this is crazy. But the
whatever
phone,
I can learn.
for whatever reason, you can like, I don't know how it works technically, but we
should get them
working.
to sponsor us.
Yeah, shout out to CapCut.
This
is brought to you
by
by
Get a hold
CapCut.
of one of us.
Yeah, in the future, I don't really know what things will look like, but I appreciate the comped food. Tips always accepted type thing, because it does take quite a bit of work. But most importantly, I just want to like make sure I'm like helping people connect with their community and helping the community as far as businesses connect with the people, because it's really important. Otherwise, you don't really have like a community, really. Like, it's an ecosystem. Everything is an ecosystem. So I feel like it's important to have it all. Like you said, like you want to see the environment, you want to see all of that, not just the food and you sitting at a table. Like, you want to see the everything. You want to invoke as many senses as possible to make you want something,
I like the video you did with one of the Mexican restaurants. And you show that, there's pool tables here. There's kids playing.
Yeah.
You get you get a video of a kid missing a pool shot. You call them out on it.
Exactly. That was funny. He was like, you want to play? I'm like, no, I'm good, man. Yeah, just candid moments, candidly getting, what you're going to experience. Because some of the places.
In real life. It's not a commercial that's produced.
Yeah.
That's with actors. And
right.
Real life,
and because these things in the videos, I like, people will call me a food critic, but I'm not really actually that critical. Like, if there's something to critique, usually I will say it in like the typed out review with the pictures, because I usually do both picture review and then the video. In the videos, I typically just highlight things you should check out and things you should know about. So it's like, it's an honest experience. It's just, here are some highlights, so we're not wasting time.
Yeah, it's a highlight tape.
Yeah, it's a highlight tape. It's not like you said. It's not like produce. Oh, I'm going to do this and that. Like, no, I just like go in there, order some food, and take videos of it. And how can I get somebody to experience what I'm experiencing the best way that I can? So there's another.
Do you
one.
sleep?
I've been asked that question quite a bit, and like sometimes. For the most part, I don't know. I'm like a night owl, but also like I have to do stuff during the day. I can't just like sleep all day. I have to like get up. And, like I like do the studio. Those appointments are like it's all by appointment, so it's like random. I also just started bartending just because why not?
Yeah, just to learn to bartend.
It's just
that's
fun.
what I want to do.
Like it's fun,
I think it'd be
honestly.
so much fun to learn and do that.
I'm like, yeah, I'm over here.
I also
like,
weirdly want to be
cups.
like a line cook at Village Inn to just learn how to make breakfast super fast.
Saying for real, like just be really impressively like, hey, everybody, you guys trying to come over for breakfast, and just like whip it up like on the griddle.
I think that would be
crazy.
super fun in my life.
I'm right with you for sure. Invite me over. I'll do a review on it. I'll make sure to do like a slow-mo video of it
just for breakfast.
Like people will tell me to go places, and I'm like, I don't eat pork or beef anymore, so it makes it kind of tough for like doing certain reviews.
Yeah, and
people are like, I can't trust you because you don't eat this. I'm like, bro, you don't eat vegetables, so like, to be fair, like I can't trust you. But like, yeah, it makes it a little hard to do certain things, but it's fine. I will say though, like as far as restaurants go, I feel like it's important to like stick to what you do for sure, but like also make sure you have options for everybody. Because there's some places that I would go to, but like they don't have anything for me. And it's not even like you need to change up your whole thing for me, but it's like I know a lot of people. So if I come in with my family is very big. So let's say I came in with my family and there's 20 of us and I can't eat there, so now all 20 of us are not going there.
Yeah, no, my stepdaughter's vegan.
Yeah, exactly. So there's places.
It's a lot better now than it was 5 years ago, but still, there's just a lot of nothing.
Yeah, so I bet she likes Pepe. Shout out to Pepe.
Yep.
Pepe's Bistro, vegan Mexican restaurant, only one.
So tell us where we can find you. Okay.
Where can you find me? Here, there, and anywhere.
Yeah, for all your social media stuff.
You can find me at Keenan Eats, for sure. Or Simply Dope World. Yeah, I think those two.
Those are the two main ones.
If you find those, you'll be able to find my
And then
profile.
what if somebody wants to go to the flea market? When's
Simply Dope World?
Okay. That'll tell you the dates and stuff.
Dope World, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that that'd be the best way to find me. Or you can just like search up the story of Keenan on platforms if you want to listen to my music.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The story of Keenan, Struggles of the Divine Masculine, but it pops up once you type in the story of Keenan.
Got it.
But Keenan Eats, if you're a restaurant out there, you need some exposure or whatever, talk to me. Hit me up. I'd love to come and try some food, see what we can do to help.
Yeah, I think it's only going to get bigger and better whether you want that to happen or not.
I wonder if I'm going to as well.
Yeah. That's the bad thing.
This is the other 25 pounds.
Yeah. Then it's a whole nother story reason.
Yeah.
So, well, do you guys want to do your – he just named every – I don't think you can ask him to name his top three, or can you?
That'd be tough. Man.
Yeah, we could.
I could do it. I could do it.
I want you to drop like a meal too, because I don't know much about Thai food.
At the top three?
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's hard,
it's always number three. It's always number three that's hard for me. But Blessing Thai is up there. Blessing Thai is in the top three. I like the green curry soup. It's a little spicy, but I like the green curry soup there.
Green curry soup.
Yes, it's very good. I didn't even know I was into that. But I am. I'm very much so into that.
Who would have thought this is the hardest question of the day?
I know.
I thought it would be.
I'm like, geez. Villa Amore.
I mean, you're going to get called out from
Yeah, you're right.
regardless of what you answer.
Villa Amore, they're I love them. I just had the tortellini alla vodka with chicken. That was amazing. In their like potato soup that they have, So good. It's like the best one, and it's like blended. It's not like chunky. It's like
Okay.
Where's that located at?
That's on 27th and Fletcher. 27th
hotel.
The hotel. It's across from Ruby Tuesdays.
Okay. I don't
Dang.
go out that way that much.
Dang.
It is very good, and I have had the tortellini alla vodka.
Top 3. This is tough.
You only got one left.
Oh my gosh.
No pressure.
Don't try combining any.
I was going to. I was like,
You'll be like, I really like the chicken here.
well,
and-
exactly. Well, for sushi, yeah, I was gonna do that. I really was. Dang. That is pretty good. I can't like El Chaparro.
We'll just
El Chaparro is
Chaparro.
good.
Yeah.
El Chaparro is great.
That's your answer.
I'll lock that in. Actually,
Okay.
I'll lock that in.
All right, lock it in.
Yeah. Dang, that's a crazy. But who knows? Maybe it's shifting. It's a
That's
shifting
true.
list.
Mine does,
always.
all
It's
the
always
time.
shifting.
Yep.
It also depends on the season and what the category too. Like what time of day are we eating? I feel like that's a big thing
Got it.
Yeah, that would affect it.
because, like, lunchtime is different.
This list just keeps
It's going to be a top
It's like
10. And
so
then-
here's the top 20
4:30 to
list.
5:30.
but only when you're eating between noon and 2.
Right. Yeah, that's tough. I'm gonna get that list together, and Journal Star, you can hit me up.
There you go.
Love it.
We'll get it together. Jeez. Yeah, that's what I got for you. Wait.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
oh,
I didn't put the dish. I didn't say the dish
Correct.
of El
Correct.
Chaparro.
Correct.
The California burrito with guacamole. Their
Okay.
guacamole is really good. But their California burrito is superb for sure.
Know what I'm getting for lunch today?
Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
I'm
like
very
really
hungry
good
now.
prices over there too.
It is. new, so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. That was
Thank you
great.
for
That was
having
fun,
me.
dude.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. I wish you all the luck in all your endeavors.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right, y'all.
Thank you.